Rome top tourist attractions. Rome, the city where hope springs up forever. It is a city that prides itself on its ancient glorious heritage, the center of a civilization that once extended its empire across Europe, Africa, and Asia. Rome is a city steeped in history and Christianity. First-time visitors may be overwhelmed by everything this great city has to offer. After all, history and art can be found on almost every street corner. For this reason, visitors may want to do their homework to reduce what they want to see and do before boarding a plane bound for the Italian capital.
Colosseum top tourist attractions in Rome Part 1. Number 1. Colosseum. The Colosseum is another of Rome's main tourist attractions. Its construction was started in 72 AD by Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty and completed in 80 AD by his son Titus. The elliptical amphitheater could accommodate up to 50,000 people, who watched gladiators fight. People were publicly executed and enjoyed other forms of entertainment. Built in the 1st century, this stone and concrete structure was the largest amphitheater in the Roman Empire. It is considered one of the greatest architectural and technical masterpieces of the Romans. St. Peter's Basilica top tourist attractions in Rome Part 2. Number 2. St. Peter's Basilica. The center of the Catholic world, St. Peter's Basilica, is a huge church. With an interior height of 400 feet, the Space Shuttle could fit together with its propellant rockets and the Statue of Liberty. The basilica is located in the traditional site where the Apostle Peter was crucified and buried. Construction of the current building began in 1506 and was completed in 1615. Many famous artists worked in and around the complex. Michelangelo designed the dome, while Bernini designed the large St. Peter's Square.
Pantheon top tourist attractions in Rome Part 3. Number 3. Pantheon. The Pantheon, one of the best preserved Roman buildings, was built in 126 AD as a temple for all the Roman gods. The temple has served as a Roman Catholic church since the 7th century. 8 elegant Corinthian granite columns extend across the front of this circular building, with smaller columns in the back. Although 2,000 years old, the famous dome of the Pantheon is still the largest dome in the world, made of unreinforced concrete. It is believed that Marco Agrippa built the Pantheon as his private temple. The current building was rebuilt in the 2nd century by Emperor Hadrian. Vatican Museum's top tourist attractions in Rome Part 4. Number 4. Vatican Museums. The Vatican Museums began in the 16th century with a collection of sculptures by Pope Julius II. Today, they include several museums in Vatican City and some of the most important relics in the world. Museum attractions include the spiral staircase, Raphael's rooms, and the exquisitely decorated Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the chapel between 1508 and 1512, and today it is generally believed that the ceiling, and in particular the Last Judgment, is the coronation of Michelangelo in the painting. To keep the huge crowds under control, museums offer 4 itineraries ranging from an hour and a half to more than 5 hours. All itineraries end at the Sistine Chapel. Trevi Fountain top tourist attractions in Rome Part 5. Number 5. Trevi Fountain. This world-famous Baroque fountain was completed in 1762 and features a mythological sculpture of Neptune, the god of the sea, flanked by 2 nudes. It is so named because of its location at the intersection of 3 streets, Trevi in Latin. The source was the setting for an iconic scene in Fellini's film Dolce Vita with Anita Ekberg and Marcello Mastroianni. Legend has it that someone who throws a coin into the well will return to Rome one day. Spanish Steps top tourist attractions in Rome Part 6. Number 6. Spanish Steps. The Plaza de España is a truly monumental staircase with 135 steps and was built in the 18th century with French funds to connect the Spanish embassy of Bourbon with the Holy See. The steps are usually very crowded and attract both tourists and locals who use them as a meeting place. Every year in May, the steps are adorned with beautiful pink azaleas. At the foot of the Spanish Steps is the Piazza di Spagna and a sober fountain designed by Bernini. Roman Forum Top Tourist Attractions in Rome Part 7. Number 7. Roman Forum. Located in a small valley between Palatine Hill and the capital, the Roman Forum was the beating heart of ancient Rome for centuries, the scene of triumphal processions and elections, a place for public speeches and commercial affairs. The Forum is now an extensive ruin of architectural fragments and includes the Arch of Titus and the Temple of Saturn. Castel Sant'Angelo Top Tourist Attractions in Rome Part 8. Number 8. Castel Sant'Angelo. Castel Sant'Angelo was built as a mausoleum for Emperor Hadrian and his family. It was built in 123 BC. And later the popes turned it into a fortress and castle. It was once the tallest building in Rome. The ashes of other emperors were buried there, but they dispersed when the Visigoths invaded in 410. It also served as a prison, but today the castle is a museum. Among the most famous sites in Rome, movie fans will recognize it as the backdrop of Angels and Demons. Piazza Navona Top Tourist Attractions in Rome Part 9. Number 9. Piazza Navona. Piazza Navona, one of the most famous squares in Rome, was built at the end of the 15th century and retains the shape of a Roman stadium that was once here. The buildings around the square are located where the spectators once sat. Today, the square has no less than 3 magnificent fountains and is a popular place to have a cappuccino, go shopping and see street artists. Galleria Borghese Top Tourist Attractions in Rome Part 10. Number 10. Galleria Borghese. The Galleria Borghese is an art gallery built in the 17th century by Cardinal Borghese as a party house. The Cardinal, nephew of Pope Paul V, was also patron of the arts. The Galleria now houses many paintings, sculptures and other antiques from its collection. Here you can see paintings by Titian, sculptures by Bernini and the National Museum of Musical Instruments. Remember to like, share and subscribe, support our channel below. Enjoy!